Elon Reeve Musk was born on June 28, 1971, in Pretoria, South Africa, during a time when the apartheid system divided the nation. His childhood was far from the privileged upbringing many assume. Growing up in an affluent white neighborhood called Waterkloof, Musk attended elite schools but faced severe challenges that would profoundly shape his character. The young Elon was a small, introverted child who found solace in books rather than social interactions. By age 9, he had exhausted the local library's collection and began reading the Encyclopedia Britannica cover to cover. His voracious appetite for knowledge was extraordinary. He reportedly consumed up to 2 books per day and spent 10 hours daily reading. Science fiction novels, particularly Isaac Asimov's Foundation series and The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, ignited his imagination about space exploration and humanity's future among the stars. However, Musk's school years were marked by brutal bullying that left lasting psychological scars. As the youngest and smallest student in his class, he became a target for aggressive classmates. The worst incident occurred at Bryanston High School, where a group of boys attacked him so viciously that he was hospitalized for days with severe facial injuries. His brother Kimball later recalled, "They sat on him and just kept beating the shit out of him and kicking him in the head. When they got finished, I couldn't even recognize his face." The trauma was so severe that Musk required decades of surgeries to repair the damage. Adding to his difficulties was his strained relationship with his father, Errol Musk. When Elon returned home from the hospital instead of comfort, his father blamed him for the attack and berated him as a loser for 2 hours. This emotional abuse from the person who should have protected him created wounds that never fully healed. Elon would later describe his father as a terrible human being. During his early teens, Musk attended Veld School, wilderness survival camps that he described as paramilitary Lord of the Flies experiences. At his first camp at age 12, he was beaten twice and lost over 4 kilograms. However, these harsh experiences taught him resilience. By his second camp at 16, after a growth spurt and judo training, he had learned to defend himself effectively. Despite the violence and emotional trauma, or perhaps because of it, Musk found refuge in technology and learning. At age 10, he received a Commodore VIC-20 computer and taught himself programming. By 12, he had created and sold a video game called Blaster to a computer magazine for $500, his first entrepreneurial success. This early achievement foreshadowed the innovative spirit that would drive his later ventures. In 1988, at age 17, Musk made a pivotal decision to leave South Africa. He refused to serve in the mandatory military that would have forced him to support the apartheid regime he despised. Using his mother's Canadian citizenship, he obtained a Canadian passport and left for North America with dreams of reaching the United States. Musk's university journey began at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario, in 1990. His choice of Queen's over the more prestigious University of Waterloo was refreshingly honest. He admitted it was because, well, there were prettier girls at Queen's. During his 2 years there, he learned valuable lessons about collaboration and critical thinking. As he later reflected, one particular thing that I learned at Queen's, both from faculty and students, was how to work collaboratively with smart people and make use of Socratic methods to achieve commonality of purpose. In 1992, Musk transferred to the University of Pennsylvania on a scholarship, where he would spend the next 5 years pursuing dual degrees. At Penn's Wharton School, he earned a Bachelor of Arts in Economics, while simultaneously pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Physics from the College of Arts and Sciences. This combination of business acumen and scientific rigor would Most people with $165 million would consider early retirement or safe investments. Elon Musk had different plans. His childhood dreams of space exploration, fueled by science fiction novels, and a deep concern about humanity's future, drove him toward what many considered an impossible goal, making space travel affordable and eventually enabling human settlement of Mars. In 2001, Musk joined the Mars Society and donated $100,000 to support Mars exploration initiatives. His initial plan was relatively modest: send a greenhouse to Mars to grow plants as a way to inspire public interest in space exploration. However, when he tried to purchase a rocket from Russia for this Mars Oasis project, he encountered a harsh reality. Russian suppliers quoted $8 million for a single missile, and Musk felt they weren't taking him seriously. On the flight home from his second failed negotiation trip to Moscow, Musk had an epiphany. Instead of buying rockets, he could build them better and cheaper himself. He believed that by applying vertical integration, using commercial off-the-shelf components where possible, and adopting modern software engineering principles, SpaceX could dramatically reduce launch costs. In 2002, Musk founded Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, SpaceX, in a warehouse in El Segundo, California. He personally interviewed and approved every early employee, including key figures like Tom Mueller, who became CTO, Gwynne Shotwell, who became COO, and Chris Thompson, VP of Operations. By November 2005, the company had grown to 160 employees. SpaceX's first major project was the Falcon 1, a two-stage expendable rocket designed to deliver about 600 kilograms to low Earth orbit for approximately $6 million per launch. The total development cost was around $90, $100 million entirely funded by private capital, primarily Musk's PayPal proceeds. The path to success was far from smooth. SpaceX's first 3 launch attempts between 2006 and 2008 all ended in failure. Each failure was devastating both financially and emotionally. The first launch in March 2006 failed due to a corroded nut causing a fuel line leak and fire. The second attempt in March 2007 came tantalizingly close to orbit before the second stage engine shut down due to fuel slosh and control issues. The third failure in August 2008 occurred when the rocket stages failed to separate properly. By late 2008, SpaceX was on the brink of bankruptcy. Musk had invested most of his fortune into the company, and financial markets were in turmoil. He was facing similar challenges with Tesla, which was also struggling financially. The stress was overwhelming. Musk later admitted he was waking from nightmares, screaming, and in physical pain. The fourth Falcon 1 launch attempt in September 2008 was literally do or die for SpaceX. If it failed, the company would be finished. The tension was unbearable as the rocket lifted off from Omelek Island. This time, everything worked perfectly. Falcon 1 became the first privately developed liquid-fueled rocket to reach orbit. Just 3 months later, NASA awarded SpaceX a $1.6 billion contract to resupply the International Space Station under the Commercial Resupply Services program. This contract didn't just save SpaceX, it validated Musk's entire vision of private space exploration. While building rockets, Musk simultaneously invested in another industry that seemed equally challenging to disrupt: automotive manufacturing. In 2004, he made a $6.5 million investment in Tesla Motors, a startup founded just 1 year earlier by engineers Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. Tesla wasn't Musk's creation, but his investment and subsequent involvement would prove transformative. Eberhard and Tarpenning had founded the company in July 2003 with a bold vision: create high-performance electric vehicles that could compete with gasoline cars on every metric. They chose the name to honor Nikola Tesla, the pioneering inventor of alternating current electrical systems. The founders had previously sold their e-reader company Nuvo Media for $187 million in 2000. Their interest in electric vehicles was sparked by environmental concerns and Eberhard's desire for a sports car that wasn't dependent on fossil fuels. They set out to prove that electric vehicles could be fast, stylish, and desirable, not just slow utilitarian golf carts. Musk's $6.5 million Series A investment gave him the chairman role and largest shareholder position. Initially, he wasn't involved in day-to-day operations, but his investment provided crucial credibility and attracted other investors. Tesla's total Series A round was $7.5 million, with Musk contributing the vast majority. The first Tesla Roadster was an engineering marvel that pushed the boundaries of what electric vehicles could achieve. Built on a modified Lotus Elise chassis, it featured 6,831 lithium-ion battery cells integrated into a sophisticated energy management system. This provided a range of about 245 miles per charge and acceleration from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds. Performance that shattered preconceptions about electric vehicles. However, bringing the Roadster to market proved incredibly challenging. New cooling systems had to be invented to prevent battery overheating, software had to be written to manage power distribution, and safety features had to be developed to protect occupants and battery packs during accidents. Each Tesla vehicle incorporated these foundational technologies that would influence all future models. As Tesla faced mounting challenges and required additional capital, Musk provided further funding rounds, eventually investing over $70 million of his own money. His involvement in the company deepened, and tensions with the founding team began to emerge over strategic direction and leadership. By 2008, Tesla was in crisis. The company was burning through cash, production delays plagued the Roadster launch, and the global financial crisis made fundraising nearly impossible. On Christmas Eve 2008, Tesla was literally days away from bankruptcy. Musk had to choose between saving Tesla or SpaceX with his remaining funds. He couldn't save both. In a desperate move, Musk restructured Tesla's financing to avoid diluting existing investors further and instead take on more debt. A crucial Christmas Eve conference call with Vantage Point Capital and other investors determined Tesla's fate. When they agreed to support Musk's plan, he broke down in tears of relief. The Model S, launched in June 2012, marked Tesla's transition from a niche sports car company to a serious automotive manufacturer. The luxury sedan was designed from the ground up as an electric vehicle, with the battery pack integrated into the floor to create an ultra-low center of gravity. It featured a 17-inch touchscreen interface, internet connectivity, and industry-leading range of up to 300 miles. Perhaps most importantly, the Model S introduced over-the-air software updates that could add new features, fix problems, or improve performance remotely. This was revolutionary in the automotive industry, where the car you bought was typically the car you kept throughout its life. Tesla began treating cars like tech products with constant evolution and improvement. Consumer Reports called the Model S one of the best cars of 2015 and 2016. Motor Trend awarded it Car of the Year in 2013. The success of the Model S proved that Tesla could build a world-class vehicle and establish the company as a serious player in the luxury car market. The next major milestone came in 2017 with the launch of the Model 3, Tesla's first attempt at a mass-market vehicle. Priced at $35,000 before incentives, the Model 3 was designed to bring electric vehicles to mainstream consumers. The response was overwhelming. Over 500,000 people placed refundable deposits. However, what Musk called production hell nearly destroyed the company. Tesla had set ambitious targets of producing 5,000 Model 3s per week by the end of 2017, but manufacturing proved far more challenging than anticipated. The company produced only 260 vehicles in the third quarter of 2017, far below the 1,500 promised. By year's end, Tesla had delivered just 1,764 Model 3s, instead of the projected thousands. The production struggles continued through 2018, but gradually Tesla overcame the manufacturing challenges. The Model 3 became one of the best-selling electric vehicles globally, validating Musk's vision of sustainable transportation and proving that there was massive consumer demand for well-designed electric cars. With Tesla and SpaceX established, Musk's ambitions expanded into other areas where he believed he could accelerate human progress. His approach was consistently to identify fundamental problems and apply first-principles thinking to develop revolutionary solutions. In 2016, Musk founded Neuralink with a team of 8 scientists and engineers. The neurotechnology company's mission was to develop implantable brain-computer interfaces that could help treat serious brain diseases and eventually enable humans to merge with artificial intelligence. Musk's concern about the existential threat posed by AI motivated his belief that humans needed to enhance their capabilities to remain relevant. Neuralink's technology involves ultra-thin threads, 4 to 6 micrometers wide, that can be implanted into the brain using a sewing machine-like robotic device. These threads can read neural signals through up to 1/50 electrodes, potentially allowing paralyzed individuals to control computers or prosthetic devices with their thoughts. In January 2024, Neuralink successfully implanted its first device in a human patient, marking a major milestone. The same year, Musk launched the Boring Company with a characteristically ambitious goal: solve urban traffic congestion through underground tunnel networks. The idea originated from Musk's frustration with Los Angeles traffic, which he expressed on Twitter. "Traffic is driving me crazy. I'm going to build a tunnel boring machine and start digging." The Boring Company's first operational project is the Las Vegas Convention Center Loop, a 1.7-mile tunnel system where Tesla vehicles transport passengers between stations. While more modest than Musk's original vision of high-speed pods, the system demonstrates the feasibility of underground transportation networks. The company has plans for a much larger Vegas Loop system connecting resorts, the airport, and other key destinations. In December 2015, Musk co-founded OpenAI along with Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, Ilya Sutskever, and others. The organization was established as a non-profit with a mission to ensure that artificial general intelligence, AGI, benefits all of humanity. Musk's involvement stemmed from his concerns about AI safety and his disagreements with Google's approach to AI development. However, Musk's relationship with OpenAI became strained over time. He resigned from the board in 2018 due to conflicts of interest with Tesla's AI work, and by 2023, he had launched his own AI company, xAI, to compete with OpenAI. His departure was partly driven by disagreements about the organization's direction, particularly its transition from a non-profit to a for-profit structure. In one of his most controversial moves, Musk acquired Twitter for $44 billion in October 2022. The acquisition followed months of legal battles after Musk initially tried to back out of the deal, claiming Twitter had misrepresented the number of spam accounts on the platform. Musk's stated motivation for buying Twitter was to create a digital town square that would promote free speech and healthy debate. He described himself as a free speech absolutist and promised to make the platform more open to diverse viewpoints. However, his management of the platform has been highly controversial. Immediately after the acquisition, Musk fired several top executives including CEO Parag Agrawal, CFO Ned Siegel, and policy chief Vijaya Gadde. He then laid off approximately half of the company's workforce and issued ultimatums demanding remaining employees commit to extremely hardcore work, leading to hundreds more resignations. In July 2023, Musk rebranded Twitter as X, replacing the iconic bluebird logo with a stark X symbol. The rebrand was part of his vision to transform the platform into an everything app similar to China's WeChat, offering features like payments, video calls, and job searching. The acquisition and subsequent changes have been polarizing. Supporters praise Musk's commitment to free speech and his attempts to combat what he sees as censorship. Critics argue that his management has led to increased misinformation, hate speech, and the exodus of advertisers concerned about brand safety. Musk's public persona is a study in contradictions that has made him one of the most polarizing figures in modern business. He is simultaneously celebrated as a visionary genius and criticized as a reckless provocateur whose statements can move markets and influence public opinion. His use of social media, particularly Twitter X, has been a constant source of controversy. Musk's tweets have ranged from technical updates about his companies to political commentary, memes, and personal attacks on critics. His 2018 tweet claiming he had funding secured to take Tesla private led to SEC sanctions and a $20 million fine. More recently, his promotion of conspiracy theories and engagement with far-right content on X has drawn criticism from civil rights groups and advertisers. The acquisition of Twitter and his subsequent management decisions have been particularly divisive. His reinstatement of previously banned accounts, including those of controversial figures, has been praised by free speech advocates but criticized by those concerned about hate speech and misinformation. The platform has seen a significant decline in advertising revenue as major brands have pulled their spending due to concerns about content moderation. Musk's management style has also drawn scrutiny. Former employees at both Tesla and Twitter have described his leadership as demanding and sometimes erratic. His tendency to make bold promises about delivery timelines that are often missed has led to criticism about overpromising and under-delivering. Yet despite the controversies, Musk's influence and achievements are undeniable. He has revolutionized multiple industries from electric vehicles to space exploration, and his companies continue to push technological boundaries. His ability to attract top talent, secure funding, and maintain customer loyalty even through difficult periods suggests that his unconventional approach, while controversial, can be highly effective. As Musk approaches his sixth decade, his impact on humanity's trajectory is already profound, and his vision for the future remains audacious. He has fundamentally altered how we think about transportation, energy, space exploration, and the relationship between humans and technology. Through Tesla, Musk accelerated the global transition to sustainable transportation by proving that electric vehicles could be superior to gasoline cars in performance, technology, and desirability. The company's success forced every major automaker to commit to electrification, creating a cascading effect that will reduce transportation emissions for decades to come. SpaceX has achieved what many thought impossible, making space travel dramatically more affordable through reusable rockets. The company's achievements include the first private crewed mission to the International Space Station, successful rocket landings and reuse, and the deployment of the Starlink satellite constellation providing global internet coverage. These accomplishments have reinvigorated interest in space exploration and made Musk's ultimate goal of Mars colonization seem achievable. Musk's Mars vision goes beyond mere exploration. He sees it as essential for humanity's long-term survival. He argues that becoming a multi-planetary species is necessary to safeguard human civilization against existential risks ranging from natural disasters to artificial intelligence. His plan involves creating a self-sustaining city on Mars that could support 1 million people, effectively serving as a backup for human civilization. The fundamental fork in the road for human destiny is where Mars can continue to grow, even if the supply ships from Earth stop coming, Musk has said, emphasizing the need for true self-sufficiency. His Starship rocket system, currently in development, is designed to transport large numbers of people and cargo to Mars, making this vision increasingly realistic. Beyond space exploration, Musk's work with Neuralink could fundamentally change the human condition itself. The company's brain-computer interfaces might initially treat neurological disorders, but Musk envisions a future where humans can merge with artificial intelligence to remain relevant in an age of rapid technological advancement. Critics argue that Musk's timeline predictions are often overly optimistic, and that some of his ventures, like the Boring Company, have delivered less than initially promised. Others question whether his attention across multiple companies dilutes his effectiveness or whether his controversial public statements damage his company's prospects. However, even skeptics acknowledge that Musk has consistently achieved what others deemed impossible. He has created multiple billion-dollar companies, revolutionized industries, and inspired a new generation of entrepreneurs to tackle seemingly intractable problems. His approach of applying first principles thinking to fundamental challenges has yielded breakthrough innovations across diverse fields. Elon Musk embodies the contradictions of modern innovation leadership. He is simultaneously a rigorous engineer and a provocative public figure, a careful planner and an impulsive decision-maker, a champion of human progress, and a controversial personality. His childhood experiences, the voracious reading, the brutal bullying, the emotional trauma, forged a character capable of extraordinary resilience and ambition. The young boy who once found refuge in science fiction novels about galactic civilizations grew up to make interplanetary travel a realistic goal. Musk's story demonstrates that transformational leadership often comes at a cost. His relentless drive and willingness to risk everything has enabled breakthrough innovations, but it has also created personal and professional turbulence. His companies have achieved remarkable success, but often through periods of near bankruptcy and extreme stress. Perhaps most importantly, Musk has shown that individual vision and determination can still shape the trajectory of human civilization. In an era of increasing pessimism about humanity's future, he has presented bold solutions to existential challenges and demonstrated the progress that remains possible. Whether one views Musk as a visionary genius or a reckless provocateur, and many people hold both views simultaneously, his impact is undeniable. He has not just built successful companies. He has redirected entire industries and altered humanity's relationship with technology. As Musk continues to push the boundaries of what's possible, his story serves as both inspiration and cautionary tale. It shows us what can be achieved when brilliant minds are backed by sufficient resources and unwavering determination, while also revealing the personal costs and societal tensions that can accompany such transformational change. The boy who once read encyclopedias to escape playground bullies grew up to become one of the most influential figures of the 21st century. His journey from a traumatized child in South Africa to the world's most prominent entrepreneur demonstrates that our greatest challenges can become the foundation for our most extraordinary achievements. In the end, Elon Musk's legacy will likely be defined not by any single innovation, but by his relentless pursuit of a future where humanity thrives across multiple planets, powered by sustainable energy, enhanced by brain-computer interfaces, and connected by the free flow of information. Whether that future materializes as he envisions it remains to be seen, but his efforts have already changed the world in ways that seemed impossible just decades ago. Elon Musk's journey reminds us that the future is shaped by those bold enough to dream and dare. If this story inspired you, hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into visionary leaders, business icons, and psychology insights. Comment your thoughts below and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.